James McGregor Burns and Bernard M. Bass, Transformational Leadership, Vision and Change. Have you ever met someone who walks into a room and without forcing, demanding or controlling, they make people want to do better? Not because they are afraid, not because they are being watched, but because something about that leader makes them feel inspired, motivated, part of something bigger. It's the kind of leadership that makes people believe in the why before the what. Very much like the modern leadership message shared by Simon Sinek. Why do some leaders simply manage people, while others completely transform the way people think, feel, and perform? That question led to Transformational Leadership, created by James McGregor Burns and later developed further by Bernard M. Bass. James McGregor Burns introduced the idea that true leadership is not just about exchanging tasks for rewards. It is about lifting people to a higher level of motivation and purpose. Then Bernard M. Bass expanded this theory, showing how leaders can inspire followers to exceed ordinary expectations. This became known as the Transformational Leadership Model by James McGregor Burns and Bernard M. Bass. A leadership model built on one extraordinary truth: great leaders do not just supervise performance, they ignite change. Let's break that down in a way that feels real and powerful. The core idea: transformational leadership is about creating a compelling vision and inspiring people to move toward it willingly. This is not leadership through fear, not leadership through pressure, not leadership through just do your job. This is leadership through purpose, belief, energy, inspiration, shared commitment, exactly the kind of principle Simon Sinek speaks about when he says people are inspired when they understand why they are doing something. The leader helps people feel that their work matters, that they matter, that the mission matters. And when people feel emotionally connected to a bigger vision, their effort changes. So, what is the impact? People give more than compliance, they give commitment. The 4 key elements. Bernard M. Bass identified 4 major components of transformational leadership. Idealized influence. The leader becomes a role model. People respect them, trust them, want to follow them because the leader lives the values they speak. Inspirational motivation. The leader communicates a strong and exciting vision. People feel energized. They feel part of something meaningful. Intellectual stimulation. The leader encourages new ideas, questioning, innovation, problem solving. People are challenged to think bigger. Individualized consideration. The leader pays attention to each individual's growth, coaching, mentoring, supporting development. So this leadership is not only about the organization changing, it is about the people growing too. Why this model matters. Think about the difference between these 2 managers. Manager 1 says, finish your targets by Friday. Manager 2 says, what we are building here can make a real difference, and I believe every one of you can contribute to that. Both gave direction. But only one created emotional engagement. That is the transformational difference. That is the why before the what. Because people rarely exceed expectations for a paycheck alone. They exceed expectations when they feel inspired. So what is the impact? Vision-driven leadership creates extraordinary motivation. Real workplace example. Imagine a struggling company with low morale, people disconnected, no energy, no innovation. A transformational leader enters and begins with vision, where the company is going, why it matters, how each employee contributes, what success can look like together. Suddenly employees stop feeling like isolated workers and start feeling like contributors to a mission. Energy rises, ideas rise. Ownership rises, that is transformational leadership in action. Advantages and disadvantages, advantages. Highly motivating and inspiring, encourages innovation and change, builds loyalty and commitment, develops future leaders, disadvantages. Depends heavily on leader charisma and communication. Can be exhausting if vision is unrealistic. May overlook small operational details if not balanced. Where you see this today. This leadership style is everywhere powerful. Change happens. Business turnarounds, educational reform, social movements, startup growth, corporate innovation. Whenever a leader creates belief in a better future and moves people emotionally toward it, that is transformational leadership, and many modern speakers like Simon Sinek continue to teach these same principles in today's leadership world. So what is the impact? People move from routine effort to passionate contribution. Key insight. James McGregor Burns and Bernard M. Bass taught us this. Leadership is not only about directing what people do, it is about transforming what people believe they are capable of. Because once people feel connected to purpose, their motivation changes, their confidence changes, their performance changes. So the real leadership question becomes not how do I get people to comply, but how do I inspire people to care? Because compliance gives you minimum effort. Inspiration gives you extraordinary results. So ask yourself, are you simply managing tasks, or are you creating a vision people genuinely want to follow? Take a moment, pause and reflect. Grab a pen, pencil it down, a leader who truly inspired you, and what they did that made you want to give more, because transformational leadership always begins with inspiration before action. I hope this brought value to you, and I'm wishing you abundant success. Take a moment, pause for thought. What would you like to learn and explore next?